So we gotta pull up Berwick thing. How are my audio levels? Oh. Okay, so you guys can barely hear anything. Alright. How's this? How's this for audio levels? Alrighty. What's up? What's up, everybody? Oh my god, why are people messaging me? Oh, my mom's messaging me. Potato. Someone wants me to say potato. Oops, the shoulder's kind of bad right there. Oh well. This is just a warm-up sketch. I'm not really, like, being serious on it. See, then we can take it. And then we could be like, ba, 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 ba. Or we just take his, one of the things that you can do with Toonboom is this, I'm going to grab these vectors right here. Actually, I'm just going to grab this vector. And we're going to put it on the layer above. So we don't need that anymore. And, oop. Right. And then there you go. Now you can make him go ba ba ba. Ba 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 ba. Hello. You can do it really fast, like. Alright, let's get to the actual animation that I'm working on. Which looks something like this. So it goes, wee. And where is my cat? Why isn't the cat showing? Okay, here we go. Wee. There's a cat. And he hugs the kitty, and then Scooter comes along, and he's like, meow. So right now we're working on this frame, this single frame of the Scooter. So it looks all nice when he grabs it. Okay, Jennifer, are you drunk again? I'm gonna mute my phone. Oh, cool, you're at BronyCon. Cool, yeah, no, I had so much fun meeting everybody at BronyCon. Like, it kind of hit me last night, and I was just, like, in my bed, just kind of, like, being emotional. So many people, like, came up and said, like, you're the reason why I started animating. And it was just so overwhelming. Alright. I gotta look up, Ricky. Ricky, I need the photo that you sent me of your scooter. There you go. Alright, I need these photos. Have any other funny stories at cons? I mean, no, that was probably, they're not gonna get any better than that though. The one I told last night. Alrighty. Hey Petey, sorry for bothering you much. What do you think about Flip-A-Clip and other animation apps on mobile phones? I think you can do some amazing things with those programs. It's all up to the artist. I mean, you look at Kiki Flipnote, who makes the Fox and Pigeons. He was using his 3DS to animate, and his stuff is phenomenal. Repeating animations. Are you ready for the solar eclipse? Yes, I actually leave tomorrow so I can be in the band of totality. I'm actually going to take a vacation so I can be right there in the center of this total solar eclipse. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I've been looking forward to it. There is a total solar eclipse that's going to go across the entire continental United States. It's happening on Monday. The entire United States will see the eclipse happening, and a very, very thinned band will see the complete total solar eclipse. And I am hopefully going to be right dead smack in the center, because I have to be there, because somebody's got to summon Cthulhu. I have to open the gate, and make the Philosopher's Stone so I can become Cthulhu. It's a joke. I'm joking. I made a reference to all your Weeaboo fans. You can look it up. Total solar eclipse. So if you are within this band right here, if you are standing right inside here, you'll experience night, day. In the middle of the day, it will just turn to night as the moon passes in front of the sun. Animation smear frames wheels. Smear frames are weird. You might want to head to South Carolina if you're gonna go on the East Coast. You're not gonna get in totality. What if I just like... Does that work? I think it'll work. You guys, if you understand, with the total solar eclipse, I don't think anybody in the chat realizes this. If you are within the band of totality, it can be a cloudy day and you still experience the total solar eclipse, because I'm telling you, day will literally flash into night. Like, I mean, it won't flash, but day will turn into night, and all of the light from the sun will be gone, except a ring in the sky will look like a ring in the sky because the moon has passed in front of the sun. That's... There we go. Legal Planet says, where is the Pikachu? This is the bottom. I put a GIF of the current shot that I'm working on, so like people, they don't, because I saw a lot of other animators doing it, and I thought that was, oh, that's such a good idea, so people can see that, you know, that's what I'm animating, so I don't have to like constantly replay, you know, the scene that I'm working on. So I definitely like that. I definitely like doing that. Yeah, because I saw a couple of animators doing that, and I was like, oh man, that's such a good idea. Like, I don't know why I didn't think of that. So I think that's becoming a little standard with the animation community, where they put like a GIF of the shot that they're working on in the lower corners. I'm not gonna up the GIF right now. It's still literally the same scene. How difficult would you say animating the cat flipping around in 3D space was compared to Cool Cat spiraling and twisting? Cool Cat spiraling and twisting was a lot harder than the cat flipping around in 3D space because of the fact that all of the facial features on the cat flipping around in 3D space was easier to manage than Cool Cat twisting around, because I had to think about, okay, where is his eye in this particular part of the frame? Like, where's his face? Where's his face, you know, like, where's his right eye? Where's his left eye? Like in Cool Cat twisting around. That was quite a challenge. See, I don't think those lines right there will work as well. I'm gonna delete these and start over. Damn it. Maybe I'm approaching this wrong. Maybe I'm not doing a good job of making a spiral out of this. Okay, that works. Ah, now I know why our Shad doesn't like smear frames. Because nothing makes sense. And he doesn't have his anatomy to go off of. Our Shad is it's basically my mentor. Really phenomenal animator. He sometimes hangs out in the streams, and then he says, "Yeah, you have really bad habits of drawing, PD." I'm like, sorry. I actually do want him to give me a critique right here on stream to use like as a lesson to you guys, how a proper critique, what a proper critique looks like, and how to handle one. Because I get critiques all the time on art, and sometimes they're brutal, and you gotta learn how to handle getting criticized. Yeah, A and B. Yeah, Kina hangs out in A and B. Actually, Kina. Yeah. Yeah, I'm part of his like inner circle. I got in on his deal before he raised the price. It's been really phenomenal. But he mentioned to me that he has a few tips that I could use when I'm drawing that would probably speed up my process. And I was like, yes, please tell me, because all I've ever gotten is like people looking at the end result and not knowing what I did to get at the end result. So I might be doing I might have bad workflow habits that's why I feel so slow. And he didn't want to do it while I was streaming, because he says oh no, streaming is your time, and I'm like, no, I've got a lot of young people in my stream, let's use it as a lesson in how you can handle a critique, what a proper critique on art looks like. Yeah. And Silver critiques shouldn't be a big call out of everything wrong. They should mention the good stuff in the drawing, and so you can build off of that and bring up techniques that help. Yeah, that's good. And sometimes, but one who knows, an artist who wants to improve, they're just okay, don't fluff me up. Just tell me what I'm doing wrong, because I just want to get and eliminate those things I want to do wrong. Doing wrong. Hey, Tetro. So the way I give critiques to various artists, it's very easy. It's I have simple techniques when I give critiques to artists, and it's really dependent on their age. So if if I'm looking through someone who's younger and they show me their sketchbook, I'm like, oh wow, this is really nice, and then I'll flip through the sketchbook and see other pages, and if they go, no, that's really bad, I'm so embarrassed and stuff like that, and then and they're really embarrassed about their old stuff, I always pull them aside. I'm like, no, this old stuff, yes, it is not as good as your new stuff, but that's a good thing, because look at the growth just between these few pages. It looks like it was drawn by an entirely different artist. Imagine if you go through 5 or 6 of these books. Imagine what you would be drawing in the 6th book if this is the growth between you as an artist, between these few pages. And they're just like, oh wow, cool. It's all perspective. It's all how you look at it. So that's why you want to keep on hold of your old stuff, because it's so easy to forget. What the heck are you doing? Because art's so degrading. So then
when you're in that like moment and you're just like, what am I doing? I'm a terrible artist. I don't know what I'm doing right now. You have that old stuff to look back at, and you could be like, oh my god, this is so bad. You look how far I've come, and then the thought of you continuing on and trying to improve yourself doesn't seem as scary, because you're like, if I've gone this far, imagine how much further I could go. Like, I've already come all of this way. Why not just go a little bit further? Well, Kina, Axon, first off, all of your art needs more Pikachus. There is a very disappointing lack of Pikachus in all of your art. And I'm just sorry, that's all I can say. No one's putting Pikachus in their art. Like, what the heck is wrong with everyone? You need more Pikachus. Okay, so... Oh, that kind of looks cool. Alright, so let's...
How long is the stream gonna be? Hopefully it never ends. Well, I stream a lot on this channel. Every time I try to work on my new cartoon, I'm always streaming. You guys really help me stay motivated. But unfortunately, I am human and do need to get to sleep sometime. I got a long day of traveling tomorrow. Gotta go travel so I can go on vacation so I can see the solar eclipse. Guys, you have no idea how excited I am for the solar eclipse. I've been looking forward to this thing since like 2009. Ever since I found out about it in 2009, I was like, I am going to be in the band of totality. It's like, this is my only chance in my life I'm going to see a total solar eclipse, unless I go, like, leave the United States for it. This is the only time in my life I will be, so excited. Like, guys have no idea. This is, by definition, literally going to be an event out of this world. Like, the literal definition of out of this world. A cosmic event. Unless it's a total one, then it's okay. I'll look for 5 seconds and move on. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be in the band of totality. Well, Caesar, from your vantage point, you will see the solar eclipse. You can step outside and you'll see it. You just won't have the totality event. Yeah, Caesar, you didn't realize that? Everyone in the United States is going to see the solar eclipse. They're going to see the moon pass in front of the sun at some degree of, of some degree of intensity. It's just the people but they won't experience the totality event, which only occurs within the band, where day literally becomes night.
So to give you an idea of what totality looks like, this is what's going to happen. So here's a total solar eclipse in Libya. So as you see, it's daytime right here. But as the moon passes in front of the sun, boom, it becomes night. And you can see the stars and everything around you, and it's so dark. There's no sunlight reaching your area. And then totality passes over, and then it becomes, you know, it becomes daytime again. You guys didn't know that that's what happens during a solar eclipse, like a total solar eclipse. No one knew that that's what happened. Like, what are they teaching in school? That's my question. Primitive humans during a total solar eclipse literally thought the world was ending. Like, some of them would kill themselves because they thought doom and gloom was upon them. A lot of times in the U.S. doesn't give us work to help us. They give us work for the sake of being busy. It's really sad. I don't know how far the school system has degraded, but I've heard that the No Child Left Behind Act really decimated the education system. Like, they just give you work just to test you so they can pass the test scores, but it doesn't, nothing they teach you actually equates to anything that's relevant in your life, which is really sad. We're getting into idiocracy, Pikapetey. Mike Judge wasn't exaggerating at all. But Brano, it's what plants crave. It's got electrolytes, and it's what plants crave. You know what's funny? If you watch Idiocracy, they had a parody of television, what television would look like in the future. And it was like so ridiculous. Like the guy was watching like too many channels, and there's like people talking and other people like getting their balls crushed, like, ow, my balls! But I look at it today and I'm like, this just looks like YouTube. This is like someone watching this is someone watching YouTube with a whole bunch of tabs open. Is any presence of your old work when you were new to animation? Yes, there is. You want to see my old stuff? Alright, let's take a look at my old stuff. So, you want to know what my very first animation program is? This is my very first animation program. So as you can see, I've gone through many, many iterations of trying to get this horse to walk. And I made her boobs bounce a little bit too hard that first time, so I scaled it back. But as you can see, this is all on paper. There's no programs used. There's a bunch of other animations I've done that aren't on my channel. Like this one I had to make in like a week, so I consider it like a failed animation. So I never really publicly posted it, but here we go. Work is so old. This is from like 2008. This is 10 years old. So yeah. It's crazy to see growth and stuff. like, has it been a decade since you started animation, or that's how long you've take it seriously? I've been taking animation very, very seriously since I've discovered it in my junior year of high school. I was obsessed as soon as I got 3D Studio Max. I was obsessed with this thing. I didn't even know what it was at the time. It was animating. I was doing animation, 3D animation, but I didn't know it was a career path. I just really, really liked making stuff with 3D Studio Max, and I would spend all day on it. And I didn't have internet at the time. There wasn't like I would have to go to like the school library and print out tutorials that I could find on the internet, and I would take them home and I would read them, and I would learn that way. But I really had only the F1 key, which would bring up the user reference guide that would come installed with the program. It's basically a little reference that users could use so they could learn about, you know, the program that they're doing. And 3ds Max's user reference guide was absolutely phenomenal. Like, it was just very well written, very easy to understand. It had categorized everything. It really taught me a lot, and I just experimented with this program, and that's what I did. And it wasn't until after I graduated high school that one of my teachers gave me a book called the Animator Survival Kit, and I believed at the time that when I flipped through it, I was like, oh, this is a book of how to draw cartoon characters. This isn't for me, because I wasn't born with the gift of drawing. Because at the time, I believed that people were born an artist, like creative, or they weren't. Like it was like a genetic thing, you know, and I didn't know this stuff could be learned. And so, I thanked the teacher, and then I gave him that, and I tossed the book under my bed, and there it sat for about 2 weeks until I opened it up and actually looked at it, and I realized, oh my God, this guy wrote down what I've been trying to figure out, like how to make a person walk really well. And then that just opened up the floodgates. I was like, I could make a career out of this, but I don't know how. And then I just kept doing it, and now I'm making a career out of it. I have a day job in animation, and I come home and I do 2D animation, and I've used frame by frame 2D animation as a catalyst to teach me how to draw, because I didn't know. I started from zero. Like, I didn't even know how to draw a circle. And I tried to take a drawing class, and the knowledge gap between me and the teachers were so wide that they couldn't even put into words what I was missing from my drawings. And they're just like, well, look at the subject and draw the forms. And I'm like, what are the forms? Well, look at the contours. And I'm like, what are contours? And they're just like, well, just look at it. And I'm like, I'm looking, but I'm clearly not seeing what you're seeing. And so they was like, well, just go practice. And I was like, I could have did that at home without, spending a whole bunch of money coming here, so you can just wave me off and say, go practice. So I became very frustrated for a long time, because no one helped me. Like, I even asked for help, and no one gave me advice. And they just waved me off in the corner and say, go draw. So that's why I'm not going to be one of those people. and I'm gonna help people, and I want everyone to grow, you know, and make cool, awesome art. And I just freaking love the medium. I love the people working in the medium. I love 2D animation. You'll see me around YouTube. Like if you follow animation channels, you'll see me comment on animation channels. I pop up and animation live streams. I'm just constant. You know, it's just constant for me. But yeah, it really hurts when you ask for like help, and like everyone is just like, no, you're too old, you don't have the gift for it, blah blah yada yada yada, like excuses after excuses. Grimdark Rises says, teaching people how to draw is actually extremely hard, because I learned how to draw because I drew every single day. No, teaching someone how to draw, you have to know how to teach. A lot of the people that I was in the that were teaching the drawing class, they were really phenomenal artists, but they were not good teachers. They didn't know how to communicate to other students, and they had one method that worked for them, and then they assumed that that's how everyone learns. And that's not how you teach someone. Everyone learns differently. You know, my mom was a teacher and also then a principal of an elementary school. And she one thing she told me is that not everyone learns the same way. What works for someone may not necessarily work for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to figure out what works for you and adapt to it. So what and that's where a lot of people like run into problems. And so you have to approach it a different way that makes sense. Grimdark Rising says, you have to draw every day and copy off other people's art styles. Eventually you'll develop your own style. That's how I learned to draw anyways. And Grimdark Rising, yes, that worked for you. However, I can make a counter argument to it. If you go around and draw exactly what you see and you draw other people's drawings, does that teach you how to draw and design characters, or does it teach you how to copy things really, really well? And it might, for some people, it might only teach them how to copy things really, really well. But then when you sit them down and you ask them to design a character, they don't know how. Or draw this character from a different angle, and they're like, I don't know how. I only know how to copy. And that can happen with some people because it's just the way their brain works. And that's what happens with me. I tell you this because that's exactly what happened with me. I was copying and copying and copying, and I still couldn't design any character to save the life for me. I could copy very well, but I couldn't do anything else other than that. Basically, where I had to take the approach was the analytical approach to drawing, the analytical approach to everything. So in my head, when I'm drawing someone, I draw the head shape, let's say, okay, and here's the ear, but inside I know that the jawline connects right here, so the jawbone comes and swivels from this point right here. So if I'm going to open this jaw, this mouth, it's got to pivot from this point right here. So that's basically in my head what I do, and I pivot it open, and then what this does is that this jawbone right here is going to pull down on this skin right here. So I have to make sure that I pay attention, and it pulls it down. And what that does right there with the skin being pulled down, the nose is going to slightly be tugged down and stretched out, like right there. And the teeth is going to go over here, and the lips are going to stretch over like that. This opening of the jaw is also going to, because it's stretching all of the skin has to go over the cheekbones, and then it's going to stretch and lower the eyelid right there. And all of this stuff, like what I'm describing right now, this has to go through my head in order for me to actually construct my drawing. Otherwise, I can't draw it. Because if people tell me we'll start out with simple shapes and you make a character, I am completely lost. I have no idea how to draw based on flat 2D shapes. I have to think of everything and all the mechanics and everything that's going on underneath everything in order for me to draw a single frame. Because I have learned, for me, in order to draw things, I have to approach things very, very analytically. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, I found some artists. This is actually really common for artists that start late. They're unable to learn by just copying people. They have to approach the art very, very analytically, and learn it at a very, very technical level, and then they can apply that technical knowledge onto their art, and then they can understand it. I'm slowly learning how to fudge things, though. Yeah, Edgeworld's really cool. I like Edgeworld. Yeah, it's just the way I approach it. And you know what? And there's things that I'm able to do that some artists, some animators struggle with, that I find really easy that I can do, that the other animators can't seem to wrap their head around, which it's kind of interesting, because it's like, as you get like in the animation, that's where they really shine. And it's really funny because the one thing that artist like really excels at, and they're untouchable, they don't know what they excel at, and they have to be told. A lot of people tell me that I'm really good at managing everything moving on a character at once and make it look natural. You know, and but I'm not good at the keyframe poses, you know, or I'm not good at making it look appealing every single frame, because when I draw, especially for animation, there's a lot of times that I'm not paying attention to the individual drawing, but I'm letting the principles of animation dictate what I have to draw. So it's like I'm not drawing for animation, I'm letting the principles of animation tell me where I have to place the hand, where I have to like turn the head and stuff. So my character designs still suck though. I cannot design character to save my life. I just steal designs from other people. And Frankenstein them together. So like I get references and then I like, ooh, that looks cool. I'll take this bit from this character and this bit from this character and I'll mash them together and I'll call it something new. Which, I mean, as long as you pull from multiple sources, it's you know, something you can do. Well, yeah, like, here, I'll show you. I'll show you, like, exactly what I mean by references. So let's go to, and Grimdark did mention this, one of the greatest sites for references is Pinterest. So let's go to Pinterest. Okay, I think I do have... Okay, let's see. My Pinterest likes. It might be in here. No, where are my boards? All right. Well, let's look at cat character. I went through and I was looking for cat characters, and what was the one that I found? There was one particular design in here that I really liked. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that style, but adapt it in my own way. And that's basically how I drew Ricky Berwick's cat. Yeah, it's not in here. I can't find it. But basically what I did is I found a style that was in here that I was like, okay, this can work really well. And so I basically looked at that style and then drew this cat kind of based off of it. Like that was the first pose, and then I you know, made sure I can manipulate it and rotate it around. So that's basically how I approach character design. Yeah, the best place if you want like animation reference for motion, Shutterstock. Shutterstock is amazing. If you need if you don't know how something moves, if you're an animator and you're like, I want to see what a woman sneezing looks like, and so like I need reference for sneezing, and so there we go. Let's here's someone sneezing, and you can frame by frame it if you want to, or here's even more sneezing. Oh man, she's sneezing in slow motion. Look at that. You got sneezing in slow motion. Or if you need reference of man punched. So yeah, so you got like punching. And you just go through it. What's your main inspiration? I mean, what is you want to do something so hard? Was your final inspiration for you to really do it? I think my main inspiration for doing 2D animation is Harry Partridge. If I had to like pinpoint and I only had to choose one thing that I can call my inspiration, that that led me to like keep doing 2D animation, it's Harry Partridge. I remember like pointing to people in 2010, pointing to his work, and I go, I want to do stuff like Harry Partridge. Like I wanna animate things and do animation like Harry Partridge. And everyone was just like, Pete, you're good at 3D. Just why don't you just stick with the 3D thing? Like 2D animation's dying. And I'm like, no, I wanna do Harry Partridge stuff. And so that it's. And then I finally met him, and I told him, I was like, Harry, that's such a coincidence that you and I were working on the same concept at the same time. I animated Cool Cat spinning and twisting into the void and getting sucked into the void, and then you came out with like an update video, and your character spins and twists into the void. I was like, that was such a coincidence that we were working on the same concept. And he goes, no, you have it all wrong. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And he goes, I didn't know what to do for that shot, and then I saw your Cool Cat spinning and twisting to the void, and I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. I want to do that, but instead of it going off into the corner, I'm just gonna have him collapse in the center. So it was literally your shot, your animation inspired me to animate that part, and I was just like, oh shit, like I inspired Senpai. So that was really cool. That was like, I think that was a really cool moment. Oh my god, okay, so GamerPaw says, how many times do you get asked what do you use to animate? Animators get that question asked so much. Like, that is like the number one question that animators get asked, and every animator is tired of hearing that question. It's become a joke among people to ask animators, what program do you use to animate with? So on my animation panel at BronyCon, we had index cards that they would hand out, and people wrote on questions their questions on the index card, and we'd read them and then answer the question. And here is here is the image of me reading out the question. What program do you use to animate in with? And if you notice, so up on here, up on the stage, we have Toonlink, and he's like, no. We have Crown Prince right here. Crown Prince is bearing her head. Pymations is like, I don't want to be here anymore. Minty Root is just like, oh my god, like, this is funny. Here's me, Pikachu suit, obviously. Another animator has collapsed on the floor and her hand is sticking up. And then here's Brony Dance Party, just like bearing her head. And I'm reading out this question. What program do you use to animate with? And everyone is just like, no! That's a really good photo. I love this photo. Well, I bet the person who asked it felt like, oh my god, no. They knew what they were doing because they wrote out each individual letter. They wrote out the question like this. They did what? This is how they wrote the question. So I'm sitting there reading. I was like, part 1, W. Part 2, wh. Part 3, wah. Part 4, what. Part 5, what. I wonder what's P. And then part 6, what PR. So that's why everyone was collapsing. It was brilliant. We all had fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. Artsy Goat was there. Yeah, that panel was a lot of fun. It was so unorganized, but it was a lot of fun. I try to be entertaining when I'm up on a panel, because I realize that animation panels are for for the audience. Like I've been to so many like weird like fandom conventions, and then the people up on the panel, they're like, they're not like worried about entertaining the crowd that's there to see them, so they just kind of like talks amongst themselves, or they're not like entertaining. Like, you ever get on a panel that's run by like some really technical, like knowledgeable people, and then they like open up and they're just like, well, the program has this analytics and blah 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 blah. And it's like, oh my god, you guys are so boring. Like, have some inflection in your voice. Be an entertainer a bit. Or they or it's a whole bunch of friends up on the panel, and like one of them mentions an inside joke, and they're just like, oh yeah, you know, that was so funny, ha ha ha, and then they don't explain the inside joke to the crowd sitting to them, so the crowd is just like left with, okay, well, I mean, it must have been funny because they're laughing, but we don't know what they're laughing at. Alrighty. The worst teacher I've ever had. Alright. Worst teacher I've ever had was in community college. And this guy looked like a turtle. He was an old man, and he hunched forward. He had a hunch on his back, and he walked forward, and he wore these like collared shirts so his old wrinkled bald head would stick out of this like sweater vest collared shirt combo. So he looked like a turtle, and he would just walk in the classroom with just a scowl on his face, like he just hated everyone, and he'd throw his binder down there at the table, and he sat down. In the very first day of class, he just started barking at the students, just like this is biology and not many of you are gonna pass, blah blah blah. He was just yelling at the students, and most students dropped out like that later that day because he was just so intimidating. And his lessons were just, he would read something, and then he goes, but you should know this anyways, because it's in the book. And he's like, you can tell us to read anything. You just like, you know, you should know this because it's in the book. That was his like tagline. He would say that all the time. And so like, I was like, holy shit, this guy is like so tough. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna pass this class. And the very first like grade, the test was coming up, and he had us take notes for like the test questions, for these questions they had, and there was notes for these questions, and he just handed us like he threw this worksheet at us, and it's like here's some things you want to know for the test, and so we all we're frantic. I'm in student groups, and we're all like panicking, and we're all just like, shit, like, do you have the note card, and writing out notes and for the test, and making sure that you know everything in the question. And then comes test time, and he goes, all right, everyone take out your notes. And then we're all like taking them out, and I'm kind of like writing my name on them, thinking I'm gonna hand in my notes, and he goes, pick 2 questions from the worksheet, answer them, turn it in, that's your test. And we're just like, well, shit, like, we just have the questions answered on our notes over here. So if we just copy the notes onto the test paper, then we just pass. And then we're like, oh wait, that's the way this teacher works. And then he wasn't a bad teacher at all, because we knew as long as we answered the questions and we just filled out the note card, we'd pass. And our grade depended on passing that test. Like, there was no homework, there was nothing. It was just those tests. And so we're just like, man, if we just show up every day and we just do that for the test, like, this is pretty easy. We just have to deal with him barking at us all day. We could do that. So we just sit after that test, we were just like, all right, this is how he works. All right, that's fine. And then there were so many smiles on everyone's faces because it became the easiest freaking class. And we're just like, man, we don't have to learn this bullshit. We just copy it from the book. That's why he's always saying we should know this. It's in the book, because the book is apparently Almighty Jesus, and you just gotta do and copy what's in the book. And then he would just like degrade us. He would call us like incompetent, and we were just like, yeah, but your tests are easy, so you can call us anything you want, but you're giving the entire class straight A's. That's the worst teacher I've ever had. Yeah, no, he had this old man, I've smoked for so long voice. And it was like raspy and angry. Yeah, there's a flag on the I'm going to put the flag on the vehicle. I'm enjoying the silence right now. I like not having music right now. It's kind of nice. So here's an interesting thing that they don't teach you in school. So they teach you Columbus getting credit for discovering the Americas in 1442. And then they teach you about the Pilgrims coming over in 1600s, early 1600s. But they never really explain to you what happened within that 150-year gap between Columbus discovering the Americas and Pilgrims coming over. Well, I can tell you, there were many journeys to the Americas because people wanted to start a new life or get away from the government. But each time they came over, they ran into the natives, and the natives were just like, you there, we go to kick your ass. And they did. They kicked their ass and killed them. And because they didn't want them there. Because they came over and they treated the natives like jerks. And the natives were like, no. So it wasn't until before the Pilgrims came over, the natives were ravaged by plague. And they didn't have any immunity to smallpox and stuff. And so all of them died. And so when the Pilgrims showed up, and they're just like, they get off their ship, and they're just like, oh, my goodness, there's a little town here, and there's little plates and cups, and it's like, it's all made for us. Like, God wanted us to be here. And oh, look, there's a little native savage beast out in the woods. Oh, come here, we're friendly. And meanwhile, the Indian guy hiding out in the woods, like the only one in the village with the immunity from smallpox, he's just like, he kind of walks out silently, and he's shaking. He's just like, you're living in my dead family's home. and you're using all of my stuff. And okay, now to add whiskers on the kitty. No, I don't live in a house. I live in an apartment. I don't live in a very... I don't live in a cool house. I live in a very mediocre house, and I'm fine with... Or, not even a house. I live in an apartment. I'm fine with that. How do I draw on a computer with a mouse? So the thing is that I don't draw with a mouse. I draw with a thing called the WACOM CINTIQ. And that's how I draw. There you go. And then can you play the song Ready to Rumble by Jock Jams? Actually, I think I do have that song. Hang on. Here, everyone look at my dog. She's my doggy. Hi, doggy.
Show off my cell collection. Yeah, my cell collection. Alright, so my animated cell collection, we have Don Bluth Shot is Secret of the Nymph. We have Animaniacs, Freakazoid, Darkwing Duck, Rocko's Modern Life, Cat Dog, signed by the voice actor of Cat. Ren Stimpy. We have all of Miyazaki shots in Little Nemo. Ren Stimpy down there. And then we have various Rugrats. We have Rugrats up there. Tiny Toons. A lot of art everywhere. And up there is Pinky the Brain and Space Jam. Oh, and Cow and Chicken's down there. Cow and Chicken used to be right up here, but I replaced it with, obviously, Don Bluth.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Pump up the jam, yo, pump it up, yo, pump it. Y'all ready for this? I like to move it, move it. 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 Give it up, go.
Welcome to the big show. Simply wake up.
Pump up the jam, pump it up while your feet are stumping. And the jam is pumping. Look ahead, the crowd is jumping. Pump it up a little more, get the party going on the dance floor. See, 'cause that's where the party's at, and you find out if you do that. I want a place to stay. Get your booty on the floor tonight. Make my day. I want a place to stay. Get your booty on the floor tonight. Make my day. Pump up the jam. Pump up the jam. Pump up the jam. Pump up the jam. Pump it up, up.
The 25 breaks a couple of tackles. And look at him go! And look at him go! He could go all the way!
Hey, you, get out of our way because today is the day we will put you away.
Yo, all you homebrews out in Bronx,
I don't want to listen to that one. How this? Instead of song requests, I want to set my computer, my entire music library, on random. And so it's going to play what it's going to play. God knows what's in here. Let's do it. Play. Entire music library on random. Let's see what pops up. Even I don't know everything that's in here.
Hi there. How you doing?
It starts out with farts.
Good job, computer. Thank you for starting out the music library with farts. Family Guy and farts. Thank you, computer. God damn it. I thought it was gonna be something cool, but nope. Family Guy and farts. Yeah, yeah, Everybody put your hands together for the funk. Yeah, yeah, here we go now, yo. Hi, Emily. Emily Boo. I'm gonna butcher your last name. I'm sorry. Emily Buchanan?
Everyone's talking about the new hit show on Fox, Boot Camp, where ordinary citizens get a taste of military life through a series of grueling physical challenges led by a sadistic drill sergeant.
That one's not appropriate for the stream. Buchanan. Okay. See it. Okay. Emily Buchanan. I'll try to remember that for next time. Pikapetey, have I ever heard of Austin Powers? Bew. No, more like boo, not boo. Anyways, have I ever heard of Austin Powers?
Swinging 60s, here I come, baby, yeah!
Do you have any thoughts on the mass amount of story time animations pouring onto YouTube? Story time animations do look fun to produce. They're very quick to produce. That's why there's so many of them. It's just something that I don't want to produce at this time. Not saying I'll never make one in the future. I mean, I would probably love to make one in the future, you know, to try it out. But it's I like to focus on like animating. So, I mean, it's just if I was, you know, I would like to try one in the future. If I had a channel and I was just doing that, I would get pretty old of it. I mean, I'd find it boring after a while. I think when it challenged me in the way like doing this kind of stuff does. But, you know, I always love the challenge of doing something difficult and then having it, you know, come to life. I find that very, very satisfying. PD, do you have any, I want to ask, do you have any tips for lip sync and animation? That is a... I do, but it's a lot of info. Lip sync is really complex and simple at the same time. Like, there's a lot of stuff that can go into it, but if you overdo the complexity, it looks bad. If you underdo the complexity, you know what? There's I would watch Crown Prince's scribble kibble over lip sync. If you're just getting into lip sync and you don't know what you're doing, I would watch Crown Prince's scribble kibble. She does a very good job at breaking it down. Penis. Cool. All right, let's export this thing. So let's hide the kitty. We don't need the kitty anymore. Bye, kitty. And we just really need this piece. So let's do this one. Animation properties. All right, cool. You guys get to see me do some magic. Oh, Super you already didn't work for you. I can demonstrate it, but not tonight. Catch me in another stream, possibly over the weekend. Ask me for a lip sync tutorial. I'll show you how I approach it. And you can see how I approach lip sync. Just not tonight. It's getting late. Cool.
I go on too many dates, but I can't make them stay. At least that's what people say. That's what people say. But I keep cruising, can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I got this music in my mind saying it's gonna be alright. 'Cause the player's gonna play, and my haters gonna hate. I'm just gonna shake it out, I shake it out. Heartbreaker's gonna break, and the faker's gonna fake. I'm just gonna shake. I shake it out. I never miss a beat. I'm lightning on my feet, and that's what they don't see. That's what they don't see. I'm dancing on my own, make the moves look as I go, and that's what they don't know. That's what they don't know. But I keep cruising, can't stop, won't stop grooving. It's like I got this music in my mind saying it's gonna be alright. 'Cause the player's gonna play, and my haters gonna hate. I'm just gonna shake it out, I shake it out. Heartbreaker's gonna break, and the faker's gonna fake. I'm just gonna shake. I shake it out. 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 Hey. Just think, while you've been getting down and out about the liars and the dirty cheats of the world, you could have been getting down to this sick beat. My ex-man brought his new girlfriend. She's like, oh my god, but I'm just gonna shake into the fella over there with the hella good hair. Won't you come on over, baby? We can shake.
I don't know, all I know is I'm the best one. It's a bonfire, turn the lights out. I'm burning everything you motherfuckers talk about. It's a bonfire, turn the lights out. I'm burning everything you motherfuckers talk about. You know these rapper dudes talk shit, start killing. Fuck that, got booms like an arch villain. I'm from the south, ain't got no accent, don't know why. So this rapper's child's play, I do my name like Princess Di. Yeah, they say they want the realness. Rapped about my real life, told me I should just quit. First of all, you talk white. Second off, you talk like you haven't given up yet. Rap stepfather, yeah, you hate me, but you will respect. I put in work as Lou did. Put my soul on the track like shoes did. Play this for my cousin, now he can't even think straight. Rockin' white music, now nigga, that's a mixtape. Shout out to my birds, they represent the realness. Shout out to Gambino, girls, my dick is in the building. I know you hate me cause your little cousin play me out. I like girls who nerdy, but when they dance they be saying I'm sorry for who follow me. Chillin' with a Filipina at your local Jolly Bee. Yeah, I'm in her ass like side of me. So if you see my hand under the table, don't bother me. I don't talk soft, that's that other guy. I'm screaming what the fuck is up like I ain't see the sky. The shit I'm doing this year, insanity. They defeat the murderer, Casey Anthony. These rappers don't know what to do, cause all I did was act mean like a Looney Tune. And I'll give you all of me until there's nothing left. I swear this summer will be summer camp, bitch.
Whoops.
Drop it.
This is a certified hood classic. Here's a lesson in trickery. This is going down in history. If you wanna be a fellow number one, you have to chase a superhero on the run. I need the epic buckle road. Just follow the heat and sneak it out. Be careful not to make a sound.
I'm focusing on getting the color right now. I'm basically improvising in this program right here.
Nobody is going to save you now. We are number one.
Our fucking teacher said. Our fucking teacher said.
Sit back and smile in that world of light. Just remember that it's all alright. When you see the sun come, it's cold like night. Sun will set the spring back to life.
No, tomorrow I'm going to be traveling. Someone asked if I'm streaming tomorrow. No, tomorrow I'm going to be traveling because I'm going to go to the solar eclipse. I'm going to go to the totality line in the solar eclipse, and I'm very, very excited for it. and my program does not want to output this animation real quick. Come on, After Effects. Super LM, I said, no, I'm not going to be streaming the day after tomorrow because I will have traveled so I could see the eclipse in the totality line. I honestly don't know when I'm going to be streaming next. I'm going to be in South Carolina.
Oh my goodness, am I getting raided? I do need more butter. Butter is delicious. She butters. Did you raid me? That's funny. All right. Well, I was just about to preview a thing of my animation. So let's do this. So wow, that did not play smoothly at all. Let's try that again. Cool. Or we have the original music, if we could go with that. Wait, I think the cat disappears for one frame. Hang on. Oh no, his eye flash disappears for like one frame. So...
The forces of evil!
Cool. But we most likely will have to go with this music, so it's... Cool. So I'm gonna be ending my stream. So what I like to do at the end of my streams is I like to move the traffic from my stream to another stream, because as we all know, the YouTube algorithm is terrible to animators. So we go and we raid other people's streams. I think we need a retaliation raid from She Butters. Well, she'll know I'm coming. My stream to another stream. 'Cause apparently she's watching my stream. She Butters. Dick. You know what? What for that? For that, I'll unsubscribe. I'll unsubscribe from you, She Butters. Oh! Oh! What are you gonna do? Oh! Unsubscribed! Boo! I'm sorry. I feel so bad. I have to subscribe again. I'm so sorry. I like your work.
Alright, so we're going to raid her stream, and everyone spam needs more Pikachus. Spam needs more Pikachus! Oh, what are you gonna do?
Skype me right now, bitch. Fight me.
Oh,
Skype me and fight me.
unsubscribe. Alright, bye.